Welcome to Was, the podcast exclusively for people who believe that the only way to enjoy a sandwich is with bread in between the meat. We are your hosts as always. I'm Nick.
Ugh. And I'm Andrew Elsie.
Juicy fingers, man. It's the best part.
I guess. I mean, no, it's not. No. I think was it Juicy Fingers or Sticky Fingers?
I thought it was juicy fingers, but
You're probably right.
What?
You have a better memory than I do.
Neither are up my alley of awesome. Is all.
No, I honestly almost threw up.
Oh,
Hey, how you doing, man?
I am doing well, thank you.
Good.
I am getting down to the last three work days, excuse me, of being by myself doing the job. My partner comes back, unfortunately, from her maternity leave for her. Fortunately for me, on Thursday.
Yeah.
How about you? How you been?
Same old shit. I mean, nothing's getting better. So I mean, I guess. I mean, at least at least there's a good through line throughout this.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, it hasn't gone. It's dipped more than it's gone up. So, but I mean, the thing is, I'm doing fine. I'm laid on so many bills, but it's fine. I had more car trouble as well. So I mean,
Oh Lord, what happened to your car now?
brakes.
Again?
Yeah, $500.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think when you do eventually get a new vehicle, whenever that may happen, we treat it like high schools used to, where they just buy an old clunker and you beat the shit out of it for like $1 a swing.
Yeah.
I think we need to do that for you, sir.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to just flat out get a regular job. Our friend Jamie is trying to help me, and
Oh, good.
it'll be interesting if I do get this job because it's based in Tennessee, and so it's remote. I wouldn't have to go anywhere, so that'd be really nice. And then also, if I do get a regular job with decent pay, I'll actually be able to go do stand up again, which I really really want to go do because I've been
Oh, that would
writing
be
more.
awesome.
Mike Birbiglia is coming in town soon. I'm going to try to weasel my way to get into that for free just because he's one of my favorites. We've spoken with him before, so I mean,
Make sure you say hi to Joey Bag of Donuts for me, okay?
yeah. I mean, this new special he has is the Old Man in the Pool, and
Yes.
I'm very excited about it. I doubt I'll be able to see it, but I love Mike Birbiglia. He's one of my biggest inspirations. I am a comic kind of like he is in the way that like I'm more of a storyteller than a set up punchline kind of person.
His
So
storytelling style is just second to none. I absolutely adore it.
he's the best. He's literally the best storyteller probably in the history of stand up.
Yeah.
So
Well, here's to hoping that that job goes your way and that you can get back onto the mic sooner rather than later, and maybe turn your vehicle into a punching bag for some high schoolers.
I just want to destroy it.
Awesome. We'll make it a giant Molotov cocktail. We'll put an alcohol covered rag in the gas tank coming out of the gas tank and just set it on fire.
Yeah.
You also might want to erase this later on for insurance purposes.
The thing is, I'm probably not going to do any of that. So I mean, I don't have to worry about erasing any of this. So
Gotcha.
just in case it does happen, I had no intention of it happening.
Hashtag not legal advice.
No, I've gotten a lot of bad legal advice in my life.
Hashtag not a lawyer.
Not a lawyer. In fact, our one lawyer friend
Isn't a lawyer anymore.
isn't a lawyer anymore.
So, anyway.
Yeah, but good for him. He seems like he's going to be happier without
much happier
being a lawyer. Even
much
though
happier. And I've
never met anybody who spent so much time in law school too, only to give up on law in a couple years. I love him, and I hope he'll be happier. So
yeah, I would say that he is. I mean, I got a riding lawnmower out of it, so I can't complain too much.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Is he not going to need one over in
No.
Psych?
Psych said no, he's not. So kudos to me. That's the way I look at it. Kudos.
Is it your second riding lawnmower? Or?
It's my first. It's my first.
Okay.
I've never had one before.
Oh, I thought you were also part of that group like 2 or 3 years ago where everybody was just talking about their riding lawnmowers because we're all in our 30s and everything.
Like,
My God, The
Some of
ones that
them
they
bought
got.
like $3,500 to $4,500 lawnmowers, and I'm like, I still
Oh,
push
it's
mow
and
with the $125 push mower
they're like, oh, it's
that I
zero
purchased.
turn, like 0 degree turn. Why do you need that?
You
You don't
don't,
need it.
you don't, but that's okay.
I mean,
Whatever.
if whatever makes them happy, if
Yeah,
it's
if
whatever.
spending their money on that stuff, cool. Whatever.
Yeah.
What'd you watch this week?
A lot of stuff I can't talk about because that's going to be on. Like, obviously, we can't. I'm not going to talk
Good point.
about the
Good point.
movies
Of
of 2019.
2019.
My God, I
Such a
told you
stellar year, man.
this might be the year that I've seen the most movies.
It was a year full of hope, man.
Holy,
Uh
75 movies though. I've seen 75 of these
yeah,
movies.
I was counting through. I'm close to that, if not right at that. I've got a few spots that I'm figuring out this week. I'm gonna watch
Yeah.
quite a few
I
movies
mean,
this
you can
week.
talk about the ones that you haven't seen, or can you?
Uh,
Is that giving up too much?
I don't think it's giving up too much. I just let me see my list in front of me real quick.
Like I mentioned them last week. I need to see Knives Out, which I need to go to my rental store to go see that. Parasite,
It's on
Ford v
Freevee.
Ferrari. Oh, is it? Okay.
Knives Out. Yeah, it's on Freevee.
Ford v Ferrari, Little Women, The
I
Lighthouse.
have
I
not.
still need to watch.
I have not seen The Gentleman. I have not seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
You haven't seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That is it's so
I know.
worth it. It's 3 hours, nothing happens, and it's amazing.
I told you
It's
I
truly
have
the most
blind
amazing three
spots.
hour movie where nothing happens.
I have massive blind spots, unfortunately. I have not seen the quote unquote live action Lion King, but I'm not going to see it because I've
Yeah.
already seen the Lion
You
King.
don't need to watch it. I thought it was
Um,
awful.
yeah. What was it? I
Which
haven't seen.
sucks so much because I love Donald Glover so much. He
Mhm.
just did not feel like Simba. I don't think he was trying to be Simba or anything. I mean, he was being himself, which is great, but it just didn't
Yeah.
fit the story, unfortunately.
I haven't seen Joker. I know, shocking, being a DC nerd that I am, but the toxic fandom around that movie just has kept me from seeing it.
I will,
But I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna watch that this week, and I'm going to watch Parasite this week.
I will say
Um,
Joker's worth watching at least once just to see it because undoubtedly Joaquin puts on an amazing performance. Whether or not it's a great like DC like Joker movie
mhm,
is different. But with what Joaquin did, he did a great
mhm,
job for the role. He put on a fucking clinic.
yeah.
But yeah. So I
Yeah, well,
mean,
I mean, the only other movie that I'm going to make sure that I see, because it's been since 2019 that I saw this movie, but I'm going to rewatch 1917
yeah,
before next week as well. So,
I love that movie.
um, I mean, there's other movies that I probably should revisit. I probably should revisit Glass. I haven't seen that since
It's not worth
2019.
it. Not worth it. I hated that movie. I thought it was all. Oh, then again, I also didn't like Unbreakable. I think I'm
I
one of the
liked
only people.
Unbreakable. I didn't think it was like the greatest ever, but I thought Split was amazing. So,
Oh, Split was
but
amazing because James McAvoy did above and beyond. So
but yeah, I mean, there's some blind spots on 2019 that I think both of us are trying to take care of
rectify.
before we get in there. 2019 was a banger of a year. I mean, plain and simple. And obviously, we'll talk more about that
My,
next week and the following week.
my
But
problem is like literally the night that we recorded, I put on a movie from 2019 and then
mhm.
that I hadn't seen. The next day, I watched another movie that I hadn't seen from 2019, and then the next day, I just went back to a movie that I own that is from 2019. I was just like, too many new movies. I need some comfort.
Mhm.
But I
I
still I'm gonna try to watch at least three this week.
I've got to fit a couple movies in from 2019. I'm also planning on seeing Maverick at Top Gun Maverick on Tuesday, since I
Nice.
have yet to freaking see it.
Yeah,
Um,
that one's so good. I'm probably gonna
yeah,
go see either Bullet Train tonight or tomorrow.
gotcha. That'd be good. I've heard good things. I've heard some negative things about it, but it
Yeah,
looks bonkers crazy.
I
So
mean,
I'm in.
I'm there for Brad Pitt. I'm there for
Yeah.
Brian Tyree Henry. I'm there for Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yeah.
And Joey King's in it, and I like
Mhm.
Joey King too. So I mean, it's obviously it's got a bonkers cast too.
Yeah.
So
So what else? What else did you watch this week?
well, I watched WWE. Obviously, it's
Raw
we're
after.
SummerSlam
Yeah.
and SmackDown. Couple noticeable changes with with us being in the Triple H era, technically of
Hmm.
creative, which is great.
We are out of the McMahon era.
We
Yay.
okay. Let me put it to you this way: on SmackDown this
Hmm.
past week, there was 45 minutes of in-ring action televised. You go back 2 weeks,
Hmm.
there was 13 minutes of wrestling action
Oh
televised.
God.
Now, keep in mind, it's a 2 hour show. So, I mean, you technically only have I think 90 total minute. Yeah, about 90 minutes, close to 90 minutes of televised work
That's
on the
awesome.
screen. And yeah, like I said, a couple weeks ago, we had 13 minutes of in ring action on Smack. No, was it SmackDown or it was SmackDown? This is the one of the biggest differences. They're showcasing the women's roster because the women's roster is actually really great and they're all really great
Hmm.
wrestlers. There was a 7 woman gauntlet match, which
Oh,
you would have
cool.
never gotten in the Vince era,
No.
or it would have only taken like 20 minutes maybe.
Yeah.
Of this took like 40 minutes of runtime,
Oh,
and
wow.
it was great because they have this talented roster who honestly have never gotten enough screen time. They got almost an entire hour, except for
Hmm.
the last segment, which was Roman Reigns, and then another former wrestler who had been fired, who was, oh my God, his name is Karrion Cross. He was amazing on the NXT roster. Unfortunately, he has one of the best entrances in the wrestling right now. It's very cinematic, and he never got to do it in front of a crowd. He was always in the pandemic era, unfortunately. And whenever he moved from NXT to the main roster, he was given the absolute worst gimmick. He looked like a gimp, and that's not even me stretching things. He looked like a gimp, and then he was fired, and he has so much upside. And then and then Triple H rehired him, and he is immediately being put into the main event scene with Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre. So it's been a great change with Triple H in charge. Triple H, Stephanie, and Nick Khan. My God, you look so weird. You have a filter on. It's awful. Your eyebrows are moving independently.
God. What is going on
now
with
your now your mouth changed. Your
Oh
chin.
no.
But yeah, so I mean, we're in a gray era. Oh my God, I hate you so much. There we go.
Oh,
That's so much better.
sorry. Got real experimental with Zoom there for a second.
Yeah. But I mean, what else? And then also, I mean, I've been watching. I didn't watch a lot of new stuff this week. I was looking for something new to watch, and there's so many shows on Apple TV Plus that I need to watch that I haven't. But I've
Oh,
been watching the on Peacock the super fan episodes of
The
The
Office.
Office because I
Oh,
haven't really tried to go through them yet.
so good.
But it's so much harder to watch it with them being expanded because you're used to like those
Certain scenes. Yeah.
certain scenes and going into and I hadn't watched The Office in like 2 years. I actually I didn't watch it once during the pandemic.
When watching a show that should be about 23 minutes
When
and it
it's when
ends
it's
up being
30, it's
30
ridiculous.
to 35 minutes, it's a little ridiculous.
Yeah. So
Um, for me, I watched Cardinals had some really good baseball games this week that I had the pleasure of watching. They are 7-0 right now in their last 7 games. They just swept the Cubs and the Yankees at home.
ugh, my Braves
Since
have been
missing out
struggling.
on yeah, since missing out and whiffing on Soto, they have only gotten better. So that's good to see. Uh, my beautiful wife is catching up on some Star Trek. She is getting into the Trek,
Okay.
and I got to sit down and see her reaction to season 2 of Star Trek Discovery, which has been really fun. So she watched a few episodes of that. We watched Coco the other night,
I haven't
and
watched that in a while.
well, we had talked about that Disney sing along that I went to the
Yeah,
last time we talked,
with
and
Encanto.
I was like, it's been a while since we watched Coco. Let's watch it, and still bawled like a baby.
Yeah,
Uh,
that
the
last scene before like the epilogue is with Miguel and his grandmother,
Mhm.
great grandmother. I can't remember. And my God, that scene in the theater, I was just bawling.
It's beautiful. It's a well told story. I mean, just from top to bottom. But then, like, the most exciting things about my week that I got to watch, started watching The Sandman on Netflix. My
Oh yeah,
God,
I need to
it
watch
is
that.
so well done. I've only watched the first couple of episodes. I'm trying to savor it instead of just binging it. I'm trying to do just a couple episodes at a time. And oh God, it's just so well done. Acting's great. The narration's perfect. It's just what I imagined a filmed version of Sandman would be like. So I'm super stoked about that. And then watched a couple movies that we're going to talk about tonight that I thought were just brilliantly done movies. One I would rank one of my favorite movies of the year so far. And I don't know, you had a chance to watch both of these movies as well.
Yeah, I hope you're not talking about Lightyear.
No,
I actually I
I
didn't like
enjoyed
Lightyear.
Lightyear. I enjoyed Lightyear. I thought it was a cute movie. I think the fact that the Disney Toy Story universe is more progressive than the actual real world is a very sad state of affairs. But uh,
A little
I
bit.
really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I think Chris Evans' version of Lightyear was fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it for me. It's just too. I don't know. It's hard for me to describe how I feel about it because I didn't like Buzz Lightyear to begin with. I haven't liked him since what is it 96 whenever Toy Story came out.
95.
95. I
Mhm.
haven't liked Buzz once except for whenever he kind of lost his memory. I want to say like a
Toy
2 or
Story 3.
3.
Toy
There's a
Story 3.
3.
Yeah.
I liked that Buzz, but I also my thing is I've never liked Tim Allen,
Gotcha.
and my sister is a huge Tim Allen fan. I've never liked him. I
Mhm.
didn't like Tim Taylor. I liked the Santa Claus. That was the only thing that Tim Allen ever and Galaxy Quest, but he's not even kind of the best part of Galaxy Quest. But
He's good in it,
yeah,
but
he's good. But I everything aside, like I like Chris Evans, but it's just I don't like the character like of Buzz Lightyear. I don't like
okay.
he's too clean cut. He's too by the book, and I'm a very by the book kind of person, but he's just annoying to me. So, but I mean,
I
I
get it.
like bits and pieces of the story. I liked uh the kind of reveal of what Zurg is. I liked that
Mhm.
idea a little bit, even though it kind of completely changes the character of Buzz Lightyear. Uh,
Mhm.
if that isn't canonical with the movie series,
Mhm.
and also
Remember, this is a movie
I know I was about to
that
get to that.
yeah, this is a movie that's supposedly that came out in the universe in 1995 that inspired the toy Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah,
So I don't know. I thought that the mechanical cat, the robotic
the
cat,
cat was great.
Socks, was one of the best parts of the movie. We get some Taika in it,
A little bit, yeah.
which isn't terrible. I always enjoy Taika. Um,
Kiki Palmer, I think, is the voice
yeah,
of the other main character,
mhm,
which I unfortunately I'm never gonna remember people's names.
yeah.
So
Um, I don't know. I thought it was well done. Is it
I thought it
anywhere
was
near the
beautiful to look at.
uh, is it anywhere near the top of my list of Pixar films that I love?
No,
Absolutely not. It's nowhere freaking close. But I still thought it was a well done movie. So
Yeah, I
and the
liked his
kids liked it.
relationship with his best friend and her family. Like,
Hawthorne.
yeah, I thought his relationship with her and everything was terrific. I thought it was really well done, especially which led to his her daughter, I think,
Granddaughter.
granddaughter. What led to his create his relationship with his or her granddaughter. I thought
Mhm.
that was good, but like story overall, I just wasn't really into it.
I
I
get it.
mean,
I get
but I
it.
mean, I'm willing to rewatch it and see if it changes. But like
Mhm.
that was just my initial thing. But Socks was terrific just because usually Pixar does a really good job with those like side characters with great timing.
Oh yeah.
I did hate immediately whenever he takes the cat out of the box and I know it's a robot and it starts rubbing its leg on it. And I'm like, I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
God. I get it. I get it. Socks was the brightest spot in that movie, but again, I thought it was beautiful to look at, and I thought the story was pretty compelling, all things considered. But different strokes, I suppose.
Yeah.
The best movie that I watched this
This
week,
might be a top 10 for 2022. What?
leaps and bounds above Lightyear.
Wait. Before we talk about that, let's go to a quick break.
Fine commercials.
Hey, we're back.
Such
Hey,
a long time.
what were you saying about this movie? I'm sorry, I cut you
Um,
completely off.
no, I we watched Prey.
Yes.
It came out on Friday, and this movie is up there with best movies of the year so far. Like
I
it's up there.
I like it better than the original Predator.
I agree. I agree.
I
Don't
think
get me
it's
wrong. I don't have time to bleed either, but in the words of Jesse the Body Ventura, but God, this movie was so well done.
it was perfectly shot, it was perfectly
Mm-hmm.
acted. The tone of it, everything, like everything made sense. And I've seen criticism of people who
As
just
much
can't
as an alien coming to
to
our planet to
six
hunt.
17 like
Yeah.
9 17 13
1712.
17
1712 or
12.
13. Yeah.
But I thought it was just really well done. Obviously, the main actor is Amber Midthunder, and she was terrific. The her brother who in the movie played by Dakota Beavers, I thought he was great as well. The dog was great. Uh,
That
I
dog was awesome.
I think the new this Predator design was very unique and very.
With that kind of face
Yeah, I
mask.
think it was
And
original. I think it was even original for a Predator look. I thought it was a
and
little
mind you, we've had this is the eighth film starring a predator, maybe ninth.
Predator
Predator
2,
2,
uh
Predators, The
Predator
Predator, AVP,
AVPR.
AVP Requiem, yeah.
This is 7.
So, excuse me, this is the seventh. I apologize.
He might have appeared in other things. I mean, he's appeared on the Late Late Show with James Corden.
True. Uh, I think Dan Trachtenberg knocked this out of the freaking
Same
park.
thing. Same thing. And I think he was supposed to direct the Uncharted movie, which thank God that he left it and we got this instead
Oh, God,
because
yes.
my
This
God.
this movie deserves a theatrical release.
Yes, I think we've been robbed by not seeing this movie in the theater.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say this has, I think, my favorite wire stunt in a long time. It's that final battle when the brother comes in on the horse and he
Yes.
just projects himself off of the horse and
Mm-hmm.
beautiful
Well, and
shot.
then later she does that just afterwards, like in the climax battle, she jumps out of that tree
Yeah.
and uses her hatchets to like stab up the predator. That shot of her running that branch
Yeah.
and jumping off the tree and onto the
Oh
predator was
man,
beautiful.
when she put her hatchet in his I think his knee or something and then went
Mm-hmm.
underneath him and then
And pulled
uh
it back.
pulled it back and I think she got around his neck again at that time too.
Mm-hmm.
It was I think every bit of blocking in this movie was perfect. What I need to watch it again because I watched it in the English this
Mhm.
first time. I
I gotta
really
watch it
want
in
to watch it
Comanche.
in the Comanche dub.
I gotta watch it in Comanche.
Just because I know everything that's already happened, so I
Yes.
don't have to. If I get a little bit distracted,
Hmm.
I won't miss anything that I didn't already see. But I think it was just I thought it was great.
Yeah, I plan on watching it tomorrow in the Comanche. Um, one of my favorite. You're talking about blocking. One of my favorite scenes, how it was established and how it was shot. The scene when she is uh, back at like the fur trappers area after the
Yes.
predator has just laid to waste just every human being that was there besides her and her brother basically. When she gets back her hatchet that she's tied the rope to and everything like that, and she hits somebody with it and then tosses it across and hits the next guy, and the camera just stays on her and she just pulls it back really quick and gets it into her hand,
Yeah.
like it just flies back to her hand like it's freaking Mjolnir. That was one of my favorite shots in the entire movie.
I think this movie, just like I said, it killed it. I think it was just perfectly executed. And it's
And
what you
if
want out
they're
of an action movie. It's what you want out of an action
absolutely.
movie.
And if somebody out there wants to talk about how this, what I'm guessing is supposed to be a teenage girl kills a predator, you can go fuck yourself. This
It's a
movie,
fantasy movie.
one, it's a fantasy movie, but two, like
She
it
was a
sets
survivor.
everything. She's a survivor, and it sets everything up and tells a great story that makes total sense in
Yeah.
this world.
And
So, like,
they established early on that she is a hunter and that like she doesn't want to just do the gathering and everything. She doesn't want to just uh
she wants to go through the rite of passage to become a full-fledged hunter.
and she's been working like even in like we only meet her like a day before she meets the
Hmm.
predator,
Hmm.
and we've already established the fact that hey, she's fully capable of holding her own in just about anything. Obviously, she has some shortcomings because she's a little bit weaker because she's not as strong as the predator, who is. But you notice that she's aware of things that are happening that other people aren't.
Hmm.
Because like whenever there's obviously like either the ship or something that's dropping it off or something,
Hmm.
she's with her brother and those other guys and they don't notice shit, but she does. She's a little bit more in tune with everything that's going
Hmm.
on, so we can tell she's smart.
Yeah.
And I think they just did a great job following that.
Yeah. I thought the effects were really well done as also like seeing the predators like adaptive camouflage shifting and
Yeah.
I thought those effects were really well done. That bear fight about midway
Yeah.
through the movie is so freaking cool.
Oh, by the way,
Just
everybody,
awesome.
there's a lot of there's animal death in this movie, so
Yes.
just be aware. And we do get the predator pulling out the spine. Unfortunately, it's not on a human, which we'd all prefer. But
Yeah.
uh
I mean, we do see some dudes get decapitated as well though.
yes,
Like holding on to the scalp and like decapitating them and just throwing
tossing.
away the head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I will say this for those people who like to know this predator design was brought to us by a team from Alec Gillis, who is still and kind of formerly from a company called Studio 80i, who's done a lot of really great uh, practical effects in movies. I mean, if you like their biggest claim to fame is Starship Troopers. They created all those bugs, even the brain bug at the end. Those are all practical effects too. So with that, Alec Gillis is one of my favorite like creature effects guys because he's been in the industry for like 40 years and he's terrific. So, but I
I
mean,
mean,
go ahead.
I was getting ready to say you're talking about the design. We cannot talk about the design of this new Predator without saying, thank God Stan Winston designed the original 1987 Predator.
Yeah.
And we've been able to grow
And
it
we didn't get
from
that
there.
Jean Claude version that looked like a little like a red bug or something.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Would have been so awful.
Yeah.
But no, Stan Winston created this beautiful thing for 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 the original '87 Predator. I think there was talk that he did it while working on Aliens, like
Yeah,
the
well,
James Cameron
I know
follow
James
up.
Cameron gave him the idea to make the mouth more of a like a mandible that would
Hmm.
open up. I know James gave him that idea, but I don't remember if he was currently working on Aliens at the time. He might have. So,
But that original design was great, and then fast forward to 2022 and Prey, and
well,
I
the
think
problem
it,
is all the other ones have looked almost exactly the same.
yes.
And we finally got like an original design with this one.
Mhm. So I I cannot speak more highly about this movie
Yeah.
than I have already. Like,
And I love the makeup too
hmm
on the humans. I think they
hmm
did a great job with her makeup, with her brother's makeup. I think whenever we got blood or anything like that, it was earned, and we got to really like everything became kind of war paint too.
hmm
So,
hmm
I mean, I am a
that green blood was super cool at the end too.
yeah, I am a fanboy of this movie already.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And there was some talk online too, like on Twitter. Some of the guys that I talked to on there about movies and comics and whatnot. One of the better ideas I had heard. Let's just drop a Predator into different historical
Yes,
periods. Like,
please.
let's see some freaking snow on the ground samurais going after a Predator. You
My
know?
my only problem with that is you can't have happy endings on that because if you just keep having predators just getting destroyed by humans, that kind of loses the predator mystique.
Yeah. Also, two questions. One, do you think that the predators that get dropped off here on Earth are like loser predators? They're like, Terry, we're gonna drop you off on 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 this Terra over here. They don't have much technology. They're still using combustion, and can't fly through space really. And they don't have any kind of adaptive camouflage. So we're going to drop you off there, and you just kill as many of them as you can. And then they like all of them get murdered, like all of them die.
I
Um,
I like your idea,
so
but like I feel like it's the guys who are just like, ah, man, there's nothing else here to kill. Let me try this planet where like they have opposable thumbs.
I just like are the predators that terrible that they rely on their technology so much that when they come to a planet where they are obviously much stronger than us, they get murdered.
I think
Like,
numbers just
real
overwhelm
quick.
them.
Yeah.
I think it's just a
Gotcha.
numbers game. Wait, I do want to bring this up. Does it
And
bother
yes,
you?
I called the predator Terry. I'd like to state that for the record.
Does it bother anybody else that I mean, it doesn't really bother me. I think it's just a fun little fact that this predator is from Boston. The actor who plays him, who played basketball at the University of New Hampshire.
From Boston.
I just wanted to bring that up. I don't have an issue. I just think it's a
Okay.
fun little fact that
But
this predator's Bostonian.
I think we got to drop predators into other historical periods
I
though
would
for
love to
sure.
see
Like,
it, but I want to see some bad endings, like some not happy endings where the predator actually wins.
oh yeah, no, I'm down with that.
I
I'm
mean,
down
the
with that.
samurai one I don't want, but man, just put a guy in the deep, put a predator in the deep
Oh,
south, like in
so wait, you oh god. Predator Terry.
nowadays.
Predator Terry, it's 1860. We're dropping you off in Georgia. Have fun. Anyway, you
But
really
regardless, I mean, predator.
wouldn't want to see samurais versus a
No, I
predator?
would. No, I don't want to see
Oh, okay.
the samurai die. I don't. I want
Oh,
the
gotcha.
happy ending to be in the
Yeah.
samurai one because I think that would be awesome. But I like we don't get a happy ending if he goes down in the deep south.
I would love to see like Predator dropped in the middle of a war zone, like World War One, like trench warfare
Yeah.
with Predator showing up. Like I would actually. I think that would be freaking awesome.
Unfortunately, I don't know enough about World War One to speak.
Or even World War II.
I know
Like
more about that.
drop a predator in the middle of a war zone. I
Nazi
think that would be
occupied, like, I don't know.
well, no, like drop it in the middle. Like make it historical fantasy, obviously, and like drop a predator in the middle of Bastogne. Uh, one of the
Yeah,
so like Nazis and
allies.
like 101st Airborne allies have to defeat this freaking predator.
Yeah, but
Uh,
then
I don't want to turn Nazis into good guys, mind you.
yeah, yeah.
That is not what I'm advocating.
That's what I'm.
That is not
That's
what
what
I'm
I'm worried about.
advocating at
That's what
all.
I'm worried about.
That would be a fear of mine. So maybe we tweak that, and it's not Nazis. It's just people in Amsterdam. I don't know, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
God,
mean,
yeah. Don't turn Nazis into heroes.
no, no.
Make fun of them like in Blues Brothers.
I haven't watched it in a while. I don't remember them making fun of the Nazis. Uh,
Illinois Nazis.
no, I mean, I only watched that like once or twice total.
We'll talk. We'll talk. Uh, no, Prey was an
I gave it
absolutely
like a
fantastic movie.
4 out of 5. I would say.
I would go 4.5 out of 5 for
Yeah,
sure.
I think it was
Like,
like I loved it.
mhm.
I honestly I can't wait to see what Dan Trachtenberg does next. I
Right?
because like I said, he was supposed to do, maybe he'll do a another Uncharted movie where, I don't know, he's the correct age. Nathan Drake is the correct age.
Yeah. I think it's streaming now somewhere on like Netflix. I'm gonna check it out just to say that I checked it out.
I mean, he has 4 things
But
in development, and one of them's Waterworld. So
like a reboot of
I
Waterworld, or
guess, I mean, that's the only one that actually has information on it.
didn't we say all that needed to be said with
Kevin
the
Costner.
first one that was a massive bomb?
I don't know, but
Gotcha.
I don't know. I'm excited for Dan Trachtenberg. Whatever he does next.
He's apparently doing a TV series based on The Lost Symbol,
Okay.
a Dan uh, a Dan Brown novel. So it's a prequel to the Da Vinci Code. So that's what's on the docket next for him.
Yeah.
Anyway, pray, see it, please, God, watch it, and Hulu or Disney, I guess.
I think it's Disney Plus in Europe.
Well, I mean, Hulu's owned by Disney.
Yeah.
So Disney, if you could just go ahead and release this movie in theaters, even for a limited run,
We'd all be appreciative.
Be real nice of you.
Yeah. Anything else you want to talk about?
There was a ton of news that came out this last week. I want to get to some general news real quick. Just one big thing being that Top Gun Maverick has just, before this weekend,
beat Titanic,
overtaken Titanic as the 7th highest domestic box office take at $662 million. That is domestically, mind you, here in the United States. And it is eyeballing Avengers Infinity War at the 6th spot right now.
Infinity War dropped to 6, didn't it? Infinity War at one point hit
domestic.
1? Oh, okay.
Domestic. Remember, like Titanic is still like has taken in $2.3 billion globally.
Yeah.
Since it was, so this is just U.S. box office, but Top Gun Maverick 7th highest domestic box office of all time. Some things I don't know if you saw any of this, but I'm gonna just ramble on about a few things that we learned just recently. Some of these today, in fact, recording on Sunday. Moon Knight is coming back for season 2. That has now been confirmed. It is going to be 12 episodes long. Oscar Isaac is taking on a producing role, and that's all I've read about it. But I do know that it has been confirmed. We also got confirmation.
I hadn't seen that it had been confirmed. I'd only seen that article I sent you that just said Oscar Isaac and one of the producers from from Disney, or we're in
Was
Cairo, and
it
he's like,
Cairo?
and
Yeah,
are you here for Moon Knight season 2? And he's like, why else would we be here?
yeah,
That's all I've seen.
yeah. I read it. I will wait with bated breath to see. Like I was pretty positive that the article said it was confirmed, but hey, I've been wrong before. But 12 episodes is
And
what
you'll be
was
wrong
quoted.
again, and that's okay.
Yeah, 12 episodes was what was reported on. We've also seen word from like Rosario Dawson and some other executives that were remaining anonymous that The Punisher with John
John
Bernthal
Bernthal.
will be coming to Disney Plus. I mean, they're pulling in freaking Daredevil, which we got our first real good look at
Yeah.
from She-Hulk, and he's also going to show up in like 4 other TV Disney Plus shows, like already confirmed before his own.
Yeah.
So
I can't remember what they all are. That's
I know Echo's one of them.
yeah. Well, that one makes
But
the like a ton of sense. So
yeah, yeah. So Charlie Cox getting a lot of work
yeah,
as
I'm
Daredevil
all
now.
for it. I love
I'm all
Charlie
for it.
Cox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so that's pretty cool. But the other piece of Marvel news, at least that I saw today, Thor: Love and Thunder has officially become the highest-grossing Thor film that has been released in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So it just overtook Ragnarok, and I know that some people do not like that. Yourself being one of them.
I just didn't like it. I wish I did. I wish I had found a way to like it, but I just didn't. I'll
Yeah,
watch it again whenever it shows up on Disney Plus eventually.
yeah.
Maybe. I actually don't rewatch a lot of Marvel movies. I see them in the theater, and that's usually about it. I mean, the only movie that I've kind of gone back to are some of the Spider-Man movies, and then the Winter Soldier.
I find that the original Iron Man is worthy of a rewatch every now and then.
See, I don't watch it
Um,
very often.
and I personally enjoy, because I enjoy Shane Black's writing. I really enjoy
Three.
Iron Man 3, but that's
See, a
just for
lot of
me.
people didn't like it, but I liked Iron Man 3 whenever it came out.
We like Shane Black stuff though.
Yeah,
Like that was a
we
Shane
get
Black
his
movie,
humor.
not
We
an
we
Iron
get
Man
his
movie.
humor. We get his
Yeah,
like what he does. So,
yeah.
I mean, a little bit of news on my side that I thought was interesting. I believe it's confirmed that Keanu Reeves is accepting his first TV role,
Mm-hmm.
I think ever, in
For
Devil in the White City.
Martin freaking Scorsese and
Leo DiCaprio
Leonardo
produced.
DiCaprio producing it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the Martin Scorsese does nothing for me at all. But I mean, I respect the man, but he's just not my kind of director. He doesn't
Get it?
usually deal with my preferred fare. But I
No.
do like the story of H. Holmes. I've
Mm-hmm.
always enjoyed that story. Yeah, I mean, he was a horrible guy, and but I like
Yeah.
the idea of the architecture of his house. That I would love to. I
Mm-hmm.
don't even think that building's still up anymore, but I would love to see like a planogram or something of that house, how it ended
Mm-hmm.
up being, just because that just sounds so interesting to me. But I mean, also, I mean, I never hate seeing Keanu Reeves,
Mm-hmm.
so
No,
because
I'm
that's a
down
role
for
that
it.
Leo was
That's
supposed to play too,
yeah.
but he's taking a step away from it.
And I believe that's going to be a Hulu show. It's going to be on Hulu.
I think it's they've been working with Hulu for like 5 years
Yeah.
trying to get the show going.
So it should be good. I'll watch the crap out of it. So
Yeah,
uh, I think in the biggest news of the week, though, something that we wanted to talk about because it affects not just a specific genre, but it
entire
affects
network.
an entire network, and just it affects media in general. Entertainment in general, and that was Warner Brothers, who
Discovery.
was owned by AT&T, was sold to Discovery, and their merger call was this last week, and they caught a lot of flack even before the merger call on social media about some of the things that were reported about coming out before that call even happened. But Warner Brothers, HBO, Warner Media is now Warner Brothers Discovery, and this has affected a lot of people's livelihoods. A
70% of
Yeah,
HBO Max's
yeah,
staff
quite a large amount of staff were laid off. A lot of projects were
shelved.
shelved. a lot of projects were outright canceled, even though they were either close to or absolutely finished. Um, and because of the way that it's reported that they are being shelved for tax write-off purposes, a lot of these things will never see the light of day because legally they cannot.
Yeah.
One of those pieces of cinema was going to be the Batgirl movie.
Which I was excited
This
for. And it
Michael
was going to
Keaton
be the
returning as
return of Michael
Batman.
Keaton.
Yeah, Michael Keaton returning as Batman. You still had J.K. Simmons
Yeah.
as Commissioner Gordon, who we've never really gotten a good look at. Like, we saw him in the really shitty Justice League movie, and that was it. Shut up. We also were going to get Brendan Fraser
Yes.
as a
Firefly,
version
right?
of Firefly, which I thought was, I love Brendan Fraser. How can you hate that guy? And we
Nobody
were going to
can.
get our first. We were going to get our first trans actress as a character in the movie, like as a openly trans individual in a DC Comics movie, and we were going to get I believe she was Colombian American as
I know she's from In the Heights. That's all I know.
yeah. Um, we were getting a person of color playing
Yeah, Leslie
Barbara Gordon.
Grace.
Thank you. And as we have been known to talk about on the podcast, representation is important.
Dominican.
Dominican, thank you.
Yes. Which makes complete sense.
Yeah.
Considering, working with Lynn and how he's definitely elevated the Dominican and actually he's elevated a lot of those Latino stories.
Yeah. Latin American stories.
Latinx and stuff like that. Sorry, I'm Latin. I just don't know the terms.
No, you're fine. Unfortunately, this movie is never going to see the light of day now. Along with Scooby Doo or the Scoob something haunt holiday haunt. That's what it was.
Yeah, which sucks because I love Scooby Doo. So
yeah, it was the sequel to Scoob that was released during the pandemic. And it was finished. Mark Hamill was a part of the voice cast. Like it was good and finished, and that's never going to see the light of day now. There was talks of some television shows sold, all for eventually in 2023 a combined HBO and Discovery app. Basically.
Yeah. Which you know what actually scares me a little bit, and obviously I feel bad for everybody who lost their jobs, everybody whose work is not going to be acknowledged at all, besides still images that we've gotten. Conan OBrien's show might not be coming to HBO.
Oh
now.
God, I didn't even think about that.
And Conan is my hero, and I've been waiting for a new Conan show. I mean, obviously I love his podcast. Conan OBrien needs a fan, and Conan OBrien needs a friend, and then he's built that podcast network up so big that they got bought by SiriusXM, and he's just producing shows and people that he likes and that he thinks has potential, and voices that have never had like a wide release before, like Solomon Giorgio has a podcast on his network. He brought over Nicole Byer from HeadGum, and because he likes unique voices in comedy, and because he's always been probably the most unique voice in comedy, and he just wants to make those people make other people realize that a niche comedy has a part here. We should, I don't know, help these people find an audience.
Well, we definitely hope that does not happen, that Conan still gets his show on the service. You know, this has affected a lot of other things with the service as well. HBO Max, had been getting movies post theatrical release, if there was a theatrical release for them, 45 days after their release. That is no longer a given. That is changing. other movies and Max Originals have been pulled from the application already. The Witches is one of them. Moonshot is another one of them. There's quite a few movies and originals that have already been pulled, but that's just a couple of them. So besides movies being and television shows being pulled, a lot without any kind of physical
Media
media to represent them moving forward, like they're
are
just
just
gone
gone.
now. uh Again, the release window is changing as well, and on top of that, you know, Max or HBO or Discovery, Warner Brothers Discovery, their stock dropped. Like they lost like 40, like they lost a ton of money
Which you would think
once
that,
this merger
hey,
was announced.
once something like that happens, maybe fix your fucking issue. You're the biggest issue was you were the reason why the stock dropped. It's kind of the same thing with WWE. Like literally the second week that all those allegations came out about Vince, the stock dropped significantly, and guess what, he
Mm-hmm.
was gone a week later.
Yep,
Money talks.
money does talk. Uh, on top of that, I personally, I had gotten to the point to where I truly felt that HBO Max was making a name for itself, and it was the best streamer
I
out
thought it
there.
was. I thought
And
it quickly become the best
yeah,
streamer out there.
and now we're talking about like synergy and like the 90 Day Fiance universe, which was one of the things that they put up during their PowerPoint presentation. They're canning these movies and TV shows for tax write-off purposes to save money, and it's a damn shame, is what it is, because instead of getting more stuff like White Lotus and other prestige format shows from HBO Max, like Max Originals, like Hacks. Hacks
Yeah,
is one of my favorite shows right now, and that's a thing that we're not going to see more getting made of
yeah. My
from this
God,
company.
the
And
White Lotus has
instead,
one of
we're
the
going to get
most.
a bunch of.
Oh, sorry.
No, I was just saying we're just going to get more 90 Day Fiance and Food Network shit. Which, don't
Yeah,
get me wrong, I love watching Food Network as much as the
same
next
thing.
person, but
I
when
like
I'm
good
watching,
original content. I like
yeah,
good
good original
creative
content.
writing and everything like that. I like people like because there are so many talented writers out there
Mm-hmm.
who honestly just need somebody to take a chance on them because I'm so tired of sequel. I mean, I like sequels. I like sequels, but it's not all I want to see. I don't want to see just existing IP. I want to see
Mm-hmm.
something new.
New.
I want because I've read like have you ever been on the blacklist?
Mm-hmm.
Amazing scripts on there,
Oh yeah.
and none of them will ever get produced
No,
because because they owe like
because it's
I
not about
hate
entertainment anymore.
capitalism.
It's about content and capitalism, which is fine. Make your money. I'm not trying to tell you not to, but give me something original.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need the same thing rehashed over and over again. I mean, we're already getting fatigued with all kinds of
Marvel
things.
and like we barely get anything DC, and I'm a little bored of DC too. I mean, I love new content from Disney Marvel. I do. Like I loved Miss Marvel. I loved Shang-Chi.
Mm-hmm.
I loved I liked Black Widow a lot. I think I like Black Widow more than most people. But I I love these stories, but I also like new stuff. Like I mean, for instance, for 2019, what we're talking about next week. Like if I look at this, Always Be My Maybe came out in 2019. Great original movie starring Randall Park and I can't remember her name. She's a stand-up. Can't think of her name. But amazing movie. Just a fun rom-com. Plus One was just a fun comedy starring Jack Quaid and Maya Erskine. There was a movie called Vivarium with Jesse Plemons and Imogen Poots. I thought not Jesse Plemons, Jesse Eisenberg. See, there's plenty of room for new stuff. Brightburn came out this year. The Beach House, The Cleansing Hour, Satanic Panic, The Girl on the Third Floor, Jexy. Jexy is not very good, but I like it. Um, Between Two Ferns, the movie. I know that's existing IP, but that's literally the mind of Zach Galifianakis and just beautiful comedy writers. Uh, we got 1917, amazing movie. Obviously, it's based on history. Well, not the actual events, but I mean, um, Us came out in 2019. You, if you take a chance on original creators, you're gonna strike gold every once in a while. Just I'm so tired of just relying on existing IP and sequels.
Yeah, I'm with you. And to be completely honest with you, like as much of a DC Comics fan I am, like the way that Warner Brothers has handled it over the last few years has just got me sick of the whole notion of seeing more of my characters that I love on the big screen.
Yeah,
Like
I'm
the
doing.
problem
I'm not excited for Black Adam, to be honest. If I'm just being
I'm not
completely
either.
honest.
The problem is not DC. The problem is not these characters or the stories that can be told. The problem is Warner Brothers.
Yes,
The problem is a machine that is still, for some reason, putting out The Flash with Ezra freaking
I think that's
Miller,
gonna get shelved.
the cult leader who's driving around America with a bulletproof vest and armed. Apparently, they're gonna still come out with that so far that we know of,
Yeah,
but they're gonna can stuff like Batgirl, which was a smaller, more intimate film about just this character. They're gonna probably can Supergirl. They're gonna can,
yeah.
you know, like.
Literally, okay, that graphic that we got, I want to say in front of like Justice League, like something, one of them,
Mhm,
we that had all those characters like just kind of backlit that
mhm,
they were promising us. Like, I want to see, I want that artist, whoever put that thing together, that
mhm.
computer artist, I want him to just release whatever the fuck, all those characters, because obviously we can only tell what so many of them are. I just
Yeah,
want to see like the full res. I want to see without the backlight. I just want to see exactly what they were planning, just so we could find out just how disappointed we're going to be.
yeah. So I think this is more of us giving an indictment to what is corporate media at this point, because again, we are lovers of film, we are lovers of television, of
Comic
visual
books,
media, and the fact,
books.
yeah, the fact that all we get now are tentpole films and theaters, and we're seeing a lack of now original content because companies are merging and doing shit like HBO Discovery or Warner Brothers Discovery just did. Like that's a shame. That's a damn shame, is what that is.
Yeah.
So
Hey,
I don't
but
know.
we're in football season now officially. Uh,
We are.
less than 4 weeks away from Michigan football, which is always a good thing. In fact, there was the Hall of Fame game this past weekend, and Rich Eisen at the Hall of Fame ceremony, pre-ceremonies, took digs at Ohio State, and it was beautiful. It was just, and Hassan Haskins scored again. But
We
you can
we
say
are
it 42 more times.
yeah, 42 more times. We are 28 days away from the best holiday ever, and that is fantasy football draft.
Yeah, I
The
mean,
Steel Reserve Cup once again rides into season 12.
is it 12? Shit.
Yeah.
And I've never won it. And it's not even the same cup anymore, so it feels less to me. I'm still going for it, but somebody had to break it.
This
That
year's your year, man.
that trophy that I bought all those years ago, somebody had to.
It was upgraded. I assure you, it was
It was
upgraded.
upgraded, but it's not. I never got to hold it. I never got to have mine. I had it before the first when the first season started, and I lorded it over, held it over everybody because it was mine. I
You
came
sound
in
like
third place that
you
season.
sound like Schmiegel.
Eh, Actually, I've been meaning to watch those extended editions. I haven't watched them in like a decade. So, all right, man. Anything else you want to talk about?
I just really like that dog in Prey, and I'd like
Apparently, that dog caused a
that
lot of
dog.
issues
That
on
dog
set.
is that dog was named Coco
Yeah,
and was a quote hot mess.
yeah.
From the
everybody,
article I read,
everybody was
this
asking for more of the dog, and like, guys, we gave you everything that was usable of
yeah,
that dog.
the the
Let's-
slash the slash film article I read, literally the headline of the article was "Dog hot mess on scene of Prey," or on set of Prey. Excuse me.
There is a movie I need to watch that just came out on HBO Max, not HBO Max,
Oh
on
God,
Paramount, on Peacock. That just came out on Peacock. It's
it's
called
not on a streaming service.
I there's so many. Um, it's called They Slash Them, starring Kevin Bacon, and
Okay.
he's a I think the leader of a conversion camp, and it's a slasher movie, and I'm very excited to watch it. So it's on Peacock. Everybody should watch it. I haven't seen it, so I can't say anything good about it yet, but I'm gonna watch it. It's got I only really well, I mean, obviously I know about it because it's a horror movie, but a movie from 2019 that starred a girl named Haley Griffith is in the movie, and she's really cool. I'll follow her on Twitter. It was a movie called Satanic Panic, which was a Shudder exclusive. And my favorite thing about this, because Shudder exclusives actually they do put their media out on DVD and Blu-ray.
Mm-hmm.
What's it called? Walmart wouldn't carry the movie Satanic Panic because of the word satanic in it. So Shudder compromised by just calling it Panic, and I could not find a copy of it,
Oh.
and I really wanted it. I wanted just the Walmart copy because it was different from the original. So
Real quick, last thought on Prey. I found out why Prey will never be released in theaters.
why?
So Prey was a pre Disney Fox merger movie of Fox,
Yeah,
and per their contract, if it had been released in theaters, then it would have to go to HBO Max to stream.
God. So we're not gonna get it at all.
Never gonna get it
Rent
in
a theater,
theaters.
rent a theater, and see if you can do it.
Plug like a fire stick into the projector and just stream Hulu.
Yeah. God, that makes me sad.
Yeah, it does.
That makes me really sad.
Absolutely.
Instead, if you get a chance, just watch Bob's Burgers movie after you watch Prey. So that's a good compromise. I mean, because
Absolutely.
you get a great movie and then you get another great movie,
Yes.
both on Hulu. So all right, man.
I like it. Anything else from you?
Now I got to go watch some movies from 2019.
Yeah, same here. Same here.
And please be sure to follow us on our social media. Nick is Superman's Papa on Twitter, and I am Andrew LZCom on Twitter and Instagram. And you can also find our page on YouTube, which is just WasPod, which will also be in the show notes as well. So please follow us. And then also, if you don't mind, if you could please rate, review, and any platform, we'd really, really appreciate it. It'd be pretty awesome. Thank you. Hey, Nick,
Are we gonna do it right this time?
shut up. See you next Tuesday, all right?
Get vaccinated.
Thanks, guys.